Dímelo, mi gente. What's up? It's your boy Gus Villa Jewelry back with another Q&A Fridays where I answer your burning hot questions about jewelry. As always, I put up a post on Instagram. I ask you to ask me the best 5 questions you guys got on jewelry and watches, and I'm here to answer them today. So without further ado, let's roll that intro music. Lego.
Jewelry.
Question number 1 is from Momentum Engines. He wants to know, would you wear 2 10mm or 1 20mm? That is actually all about preference. It depends on what you like to do. I am the king of versatility. I like to wear some certain outfits with very thin chains. I like to wear some insane stuff with plain Jane black tees and stuff like that. So I'm more of a versatile type of guy. To me, 2 10mm seems more reasonable. It gives you the same amount of girth.
Pause.
And you can either take one off if it gets really, really heavy, or you can keep both of them on if it's a big event. Honestly, it just gives you more options on what you want to do. So whether you want to rock 2 of them or 1 of them at a time, it's completely up to you. I like the 2 stacked chains. I could tell you the artist who I love the way he would stack his chains is my boy Nipsey Hussle. He would always stack really big boys. Now, of course, that's his style. That's what he was going for. I'm more of a thinner type of style, but nevertheless, he would always stack them up, and he always had a different outfit, different types of combinations, sometimes 4, sometimes 5, sometimes double layered. It's just a really, really cool look. And to be honest with you, you're not restricted to just wearing 1 big 20mm chain. But again, it's up to you. Personal preference always wins. Number 2 comes from Blake Wither 88. Have any celebrities reached out about rocking your chains? To be honest with you, yeah. My Instagram has a really big reach as far as constantly seeing new eyeballs on there. We do get a couple of people out here with blue check marks hitting us up, wanting to know pieces. We have done pieces for some of these big celebrities. I don't like to mention their names because there's usually 2 trains of thought with jewelry worlds in general. There are those guys out there that build and love to have their jewelry on big famous people. Anytime anybody with even a mere small name buys one of their pieces, they're like coming out there and, you know, pointing the finger and saying, yo, this is the best jeweler in town or whatever. And that's completely fine because that's going to get a lot of eyeballs on your pieces. It's really good marketing. Plus it gives you a lot of good credibility. I'm not the jeweler who wants to be with all the celebrities. If it happens, it happens. Great. I'm not opposed to taking pictures with big time names, but it's not more my style. I'm more of like the everyday person who wants to reach out, talk to me, buy a chain, working people. And that's not to say like, oh, you know, like you're on some sort of like martyrship to like help regular people out with jewelry. No, it's just more my lane. It's just more what I feel comfortable with. I don't really want to be known as the guy who makes chains for Cardi B. I'm more of like an everyday kind of wearing guy. So yes, we do get big time names that hit us up, but will you hear about them? Probably not. Gus Villa Jewelry, the people's chain, baby. You know what I'm saying? Hit me up, Mayweather. I'll make you a chain. Number 3 comes from Connie Riders. Is it Connor Ryorders or Connor Yoders or Connie Yodders? Who the hell knows? Anyway, on with the question. Is it safe to swim in pools with 14K solid gold? Let me answer that because I hear it all the time. Ironically, I don't understand. And some people who, of course, are all keyboard jeweler experts will jump on the comments and be like, no, of course you can't put your chains into a pool. They're going to disintegrate into millions of pieces. It's ridiculous. No, it won't. It's going to be perfectly fine. If you swim constantly and live as a sea creature, or you're you save lives in the ocean, and you're a lifeguard or at a pool, after years of being in chlorine or salt water, it could potentially begin to tarnish slightly. But the regular person is perfectly fine putting your chain in a pool or the ocean, especially if it's gold, because the only thing that could possibly react to it is the alloy, which comes of nickel, silver, gold, copper, platinum, palladium, whatever the hell they want to put in that mixture. 99% of the time, you're going to be perfectly fine. And that goes for 10K, gold over silver that we make, 14K, 18K, 22K, you're fine. Dip your ass in that pool.
Just kill.
You're gonna be perfectly fine. If anything, if you're really, really meticulous, run it through some fresh water with some soap and you're perfectly good to go. Question number 4 from the real Marcus Moore. Shout out to my boy Marcus Moore. It's my boy.
P.O.P.
What size chain do you have on? This question surprisingly gets asked a whole the time. It's probably the most asked question in all the comments. So what I'm gonna start doing is right before I start, or maybe in the middle of my videos, I'm gonna start telling you what kind of chain I have on in that particular video. Shout out to my boy Federico Talks Watches. He does this thing that's called a customary watch check, and he will tell you what watch he is wearing. I'm gonna start doing the same thing. The chain in all my videos, or at least the most recent ones until I start switching it up, is a 9mm 24-inch 10-carat chain. Now sometimes I wear my 8mm 25-inch and 22 karat. Sometimes I wear my 10mm. I'm gonna be probably wearing another tricolor chain next video, but I switch them up. But in this particular case, it's a 9mm 10-carat 165 grams, and ironically this one is for sale. So hit me up if you're interested, because it is on special. Question number 5 and final question comes from Soul Roll Jewelries. It reads, when you are beginning making your workshop, what is the top 3 most important part? That is a phenomenal question. And I know I say that all the time, but honestly, that is also a phenomenal question. That, ironically, is probably the best question I've been asked. This question is for my jewelers out there who really want to know the backbone of the jewelry industry. Most of the time, it depends on what kind of chains you're going to be making. But specifically for Cuban link chains, you need 3 main pieces. These are the things that make your life so much easier. And without these 3 machines, your life would be an absolute kick in the balls, because there's so much more work that you have to do manually. So first off, let's start with the heart of the shop. That is your rolling mill. The bigger the rolling mill, the more pieces you're gonna do. I happen to have a gargantuan rolling mill straight from Italy. It's a beast, and it lets me produce anywhere from 70 to 80 kilos of metal every single day. Now, I don't produce that much, but if I wanted to, that's how much it could pump out. Number 2 is your draw plate station. This is where you're gonna make your wire. Now, normally for many, many years and decades when these machines weren't around, you had to go in there and manually pull the string through the draw plates. Now with the inventions of these machines, you just grab it, hook it up to the chain wire, it pulls the wire all the way through, and it makes your life so much more simpler. You need it in your shop. I use it every single day. I can't stress to you how important it is for a Cuban link shop to have one of these machines. It'll save you thousands and thousands of hours in labor. Number 3 is the steam. The steam is the final thing that you use to present that piece to the customer. It removes all kinds of impurities. It runs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at my shop. It does not stop moving. It is a beautiful, beautiful piece of machinery, and every jeweler knows that the steam is probably the machine that they use the most. There's a brand called Hoffman out there. It's the industry standard, and honestly, I couldn't live without it. Now, there's a bunch of other machines like the tumbler and the machine that turns the chains that I also use very often, but those 3 are the center point of my shop that I absolutely need running every single minute of every single day. That about wraps it up. Once again, thank you for asking me these questions. If you're interested in any sort of piece of jewelry or watches, visit GusVillaJewelry.com. If you're interested in a Miami Cuban link in 10, 14, or 18 karat gold, plus we got some 10 karat gold on sale right now that have already been made if you want to scoop up a good deal. As always, subscribe to the channel. Make sure that when I ask that question on Instagram, you guys are asking your questions. We're picking out the 5 best, and we're going to answer them here for you guys. As always, we love you. Subscribe to the channel, share this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Holla at me. Goodbye.